Hey everyone, welcome. It's 12:01, just a minute late here. Well, thank you for joining me here today at Earn More and Live More. I am your host, Lou Perica. Oh, I forgot to change the title, I noticed. Oh well, I'll fix that later. Anyways, for those who don't know me, for those of you who are new, I help real estate professionals really become the best version of themselves by shifting the way they think, releasing old limiting beliefs so they can really create the freedom that they desire and deserve. That's a big word, and deserve in their finances, their careers, and in their personal life. And how we do this is really by using the power of our mind to create this freedom. So, my intention for these trainings is to really raise the level of self awareness so the greatness within each and every one of us can express itself. The more you study you, the more you're going to believe what is possible for you. So, today's training, do you believe you can succeed? So, this training will help you get clear about the beliefs so you can take the action steps necessary to succeed. I know somebody had written to me, and really it does come down to taking action. We can believe, and this is what we're going to talk about today, because we actually believe on two different levels. So, let me just read this quote from you to you from Napoleon Hill. There is a difference between wishing for something and being ready to receive it. No one is ready for a thing until they believe they can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief and not mere hope or wish. How many times have we all hoped for something or wished for something? But your mind must be in the state of belief. We can never go beyond where we believe we can go. So I mentioned this in one of my trainings. Really comes down to the self-image, your beliefs in your self-image, and I use the beliefs and or the self-image as a visual, as like a electric fence. I used to use an example of a dog. He sees a truck coming by, it's the meat truck, and that dog wants to go for it, but then that electric fence zaps him and he's held back, even though what he desires is on the other side of that fence. And it's kind of similar to us. This is what our beliefs do. This is what our self image will do. We want something, but because we have this self image in a concept of who we are and our beliefs and our programming, that holds us back. It acts as an electric fence. So here's the problem, and I'm going to be showing you something in a few minutes. We have beliefs on two levels, like I mentioned, the conscious level and the subconscious level. You'll see me pointing to my head, and I'm going to explain that after I go over these two points. I want you to think of the top of your head as your conscious mind. And when I point down here, I want you to think of it as your subconscious mind. It's just a visual. It's just a visual. And that visual will give you clarity. So to believe on a conscious level is based on logic. Our five senses are hooked up, if you will, to our conscious mind, our five senses, right? What we hear, see, taste, touch, and smell. And usually what we see and the information that we gather is all up here in our thinking mind. We believe we're capable of doing something, but 2 to 4% of our results come from the conscious mind. We think, well, if I do this, if I do this strategy, if I do this, I believe I can achieve X. Okay, so that's all in the thinking mind, the conscious mind, the educated mind, the knowing mind. Okay, this is where we gather information when we go to school. This is where it's all gathered up here. Then the second point, there is the belief on a very deep level, and that is in the subconscious level. The belief, these are the beliefs that controls our behavior and our actions. 96 to 98% of our actions and results come from our subconscious mind, because this is where our fixed ideas and habits and programming is located. So if you believe you can achieve, you can be successful, we're just going to use the example like I always do in these trainings as a top producer. Your goal could be anything, but just because I typically speak to real estate professionals, I'm going to just use that as the goal, right? So you believe you can be a top producer if you make enough phone calls, if you do enough follow-ups, if you do enough networking, if you study your scripts, things like that. You believe it. But here's the question. Are you doing it? You know these are the steps that need to be taken, but this is the doing part. This is what puts our body into action. The doing part is located in our subconscious mind. And this, again, is 96 to 98% of our actions and our results come from here. So there is a word, and the word is praxis. This word may be new to you. I know it was new to me. The word praxis is the integration of belief with behavior. It's a mind-body discipline, and anyone can learn it. This is when we would hear, walk the talk, right? So that's kind of the same thing. You're doing a lot of this, but are you actually doing the action steps? So I'm going to show you, and I've done this many times in the trainings, and I'll actually probably do a private Zoom call. I want to explain to you the stick person. Let me just show you a quick picture of this. It's very simple, nothing complicated, right? And we use this stick person as an image of our mind because no one has ever seen the mind. The mind is not a thing, it's actually activity. It's not a noun, it's a verb. It's activity. So, but because we're always saying, your mindset, you got to change your attitude. Everything comes from the mind. But if we don't have a picture, an image of the mind, there's confusion. So I showed you this picture, right? Little stick person. I'm going to be referring again to this part of my head and this part. So this will be the conscious mind. This is the subconscious mind. And of course, this is the body. So the conscious mind, again, this is the control knob for this. Okay, this is the control knob. This is the thinking mind, the educated mind. It's the intellect. This part of your mind can accept or reject ideas. It can also originate ideas. This part, the subconscious, cannot reject. It must accept. So think about that. And that is very powerful. It cannot reject. It can only accept. So this is why what we're thinking up here, if we don't reject thoughts and ideas that are not in harmony with us, they simply really get planted into the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind must accept it. It does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. This, again, very, very powerful. This is like a fertile garden. When you have thoughts and ideas, and if you don't reject them, and you've got an idea that you want to get emotionally involved with, so let's use the example of being a top producer, okay? You have this idea up in your conscious mind, you're thinking about it. But if you don't truly believe in your subconscious mind, we call this the emotional mind, the feeling mind, then that thought of being a top producer simply sits up here. It's like a seed just sitting there. It's not going anywhere. Nothing's going to happen with it. But when you get emotionally involved with that idea, being a top producer, you're actually taking that thought, that seed, and you're planting it into a garden. You're getting emotionally involved with the idea. You're really thinking about it. Yeah, I can see myself. I can see myself doing lots of transactions. I can see myself helping a lot of people. I can see myself being successful. I can see myself shaking hands with people at the closing table. I can see myself handing the keys to new homeowners. I can see my sign on the front lawn for sale for these big, beautiful homes. I can see that. I can see me having so many sales. I can see me traveling. I can see me doing the things I want to do. That's getting emotionally involved with the idea. See, without those images, it just sits up here and it goes nowhere. So, this is why planting that seed and nourishing that seed with the images over and over, becoming emotionally involved with that idea is very powerful. And what that starts to do is put the body in a state of vibration to take action. I want you to think of this. Um, you're feeling amazing. You just heard some really good news, or you saw a good friend and they told you look fantastic, you're doing super, whatever it is. You're just thinking good thoughts. How do you feel? You feel amazing. When you feel good, how does your body act? Does it walk around like with a frown on its face? And I use this example, maybe maybe slamming doors. No, when you feel good, you're walking light. Your head is up, your shoulders back. You got a big smile on your face because the mind expresses what it's thinking through the body. This is just the whole creative process. So in here, in your subconscious mind, you have a lot of habits, a lot of old fixed ideas. So do I, so does everyone. And we call these your paradigms. It's really your programming, your software that has been installed in you when you were a baby. And these paradigms affect your income, your use of time, your logic, your habits, your beliefs, the weight on the scale, how you dress, how you meet and greet people. It really controls everything. This is why it's the 96 to 98% of your results is coming from here. So let me just check something here. So any doubts, let's remember this, any doubts about our beliefs, we must remember where they came from. And again, they were all planted in the subconscious mind when you were a baby. This part of the mind, the thinking mind, the educated mind, was not developed yet, if you will. So it's almost like taking this off and putting it on a shelf for now, right? And all the conversations that you heard around you, whether it's conversations from the adults around you, from the TV, from the radio, from songs, from your teachers, from your government, from your church, etc. It was all being planted into your subconscious mind. So this is why who you think you are, who you believe you are, has all been planted into you. You had no choice when you were a baby. All right, so what happens too is these fixed ideas, they're habits, and we're so conditioned to follow the masses habitually. It's so easy to believe what others say. We never even evaluate the beliefs that we have. We just go along. And I often ask people to ask themselves this question. Of all the things that I was told when I was young, what is the single one thing that holds me back the most? There's got to be something. We all have some sort of limiting belief. Even if you're doing amazing in life, there's the next step for you. So that next step is you're holding back from doing that next step because you have a belief. So ask yourself, what is that one thing that you were told when you were young that's holding you back? And then ask, is it true? Is it true? And we have a guidance system in us. So whenever we feel lousy, this is really important to take this in. Whenever we feel lousy, it's a lie. It is a lie. Be aware of the words that you speak. Be aware of the words that you speak. Your words represent your thoughts. This is why we've all heard the expression, think before you speak, because this part, the 96 to 98% of our actions and results is coming from habit. We are doing the same thing over and over every day. This 2 to 4% takes actual effort. Thinking takes actual effort. And most of us are not thinking. We're running on autopilot. Right? This takes effort. This is efficiency. It's easier. This runs on autopilot. Doesn't take much effort because it's already programmed in us. This takes actual effort. And here's the thing. We become what we think about most of the time. So when you wake up in the morning and when you go to bed at night, typically that's the quiet time, right? What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Because during the day, we have a lot of distractions. If you're, out and about working or whatever you're doing, there's a lot of distractions. But when it's quiet time, when you're alone, what are your thoughts? So here's some solutions for you to start working on, to start changing those limiting beliefs, because if that's the only way to progress forward, is you must change your paradigms. You must change or shift your programming. This is all recordings. It's not it just is what it just is what it is. It's not there to hurt you, it's there to help you. But you are the master of your thoughts. You must plant the seeds that you want. You must plant the thoughts, the dreams and desires that you want. All this stuff that's in here has just been passed down from countless generations. Okay. So, again, let's start changing those limiting beliefs. Stop the old mechanical negative inner talking. That's this, right? During those quiet hours, what are you saying to yourself? And we want to start new, positive, constructive inner speech from the goal achieved. So we always want to think from the goal achieved. So again, top producer, you want to think like a top producer. What would a top producer be doing today? What kind of action steps would a top producer be doing? How does a top producer meet and greet people? I use that quite often because it's so powerful how you meet and greet people. It's so powerful how when you shake someone's hands, when you look into their eyes and say, "Hi, nice to meet you. My name is so and so." That's very powerful. So you want to ask yourself these things, and the action steps that you take, even if it's small steps, will start to build your confidence and belief in yourself. So here's something that you can do. We write out a self-image script. We call it our movie script. And this is your life with your goal already achieved. Most of us are in a movie, but we're not the main star. We're more like a supporting actor, supporting role. We're not the main character, the star of the movie. and it's our life. So let's write out a movie script and add a lot of detail. What do you want? How do you see yourself? What's your lifestyle like? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Right? Where do you shop? Where do you travel? What kind of car do you drive? Right? What kind of charities do you donate? Where do you do volunteer work? Whatever it is that you want, you write it out. And again, use emotional words because emotions is extremely important. Um, so the emotion will get you, make that image much clearer. And you want to write it again in the present tense. So you want to write that you are, I am a top producer, not I am going to be, because that's like you're not there, you're not there, you're not there. You want to write it in the present tense. I am. From that script, and write as many pages as you want. It's your movie script. It's up to you. My One of my coaches, she wrote 17 pages, and she is known for having the quote, "I wrote her and I became her." And she wrote down her movie script in different roles. She wrote it as a businesswoman, as a wife, as a mother, as a friend, as somebody in the community, etc. Right? So you can do that as well. I've done that, not in as many roles, but I do go into detail, and I can feel me there. So from your script, take a little snapshot of it, a little snapshot, and this will be your goal. And when you write your goal, again, in present tense, and I have one here just for an example, you might write down, I am so happy and grateful that I am a top producer in my company. I accept the responsibility, the commitment, the discipline, and take action like a top producer. I am contacted by ideal clients every day who are ready and willing to work with me and are happy and grateful to pay for my service. I serve them at the highest level with joy and enthusiasm, and I absolutely love it. Okay. Or here's another one, you can write a declaration statement. So this is one kind of like what I write. I am so happy and grateful now that I am a top producer earning X amount of dollars every month or every year, and I love it. My confidence is getting better and better every day. I have great discipline. I have an extraordinary positive mental attitude. I act on ideas within a millisecond. I am financially free, serving others at the highest level. I have made winning part of my identity, and it feels fantastic. I have the self image of a top producer. Sounds a lot different, probably, than what you've been saying your whole life to yourself, right? So, just saying those words is so uplifting. So, what to do is write your goal out 10 times a day and use emotional words. Writing causes you to think, and thinking creates an image, and the image creates the feelings. Mornings are really good because it starts your day off to a great day. Then record your goal. Record it and listen to it. So this is what I do. I set an alarm on my phone. I have it for every 3 hours, but you can do it every 2 to 3 hours. I start it from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And this is what I want you to do. And it's very powerful. So you have your written statement, your goal or your declaration statement. You've written it, and now you've recorded it on your phone. Okay. Now you set your alarm off on your phone. I want you to go to a mirror if it's possible. Someone told me there's a mirror app, so maybe do that too. Look into your eyes. if you were like me, the way I used to be, I used to see myself in the mirror, but I never really looked at myself. I never really looked into my eyes. And it's so amazing. All those years of putting on makeup, I never really looked in my own eyes, never really looked at myself. So play your recording. So you're going to start. You're going to hit the record button and you'll hear the first sentence. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a top producer in my company. Hit pause. I want you to say the words in the mirror, hit pause, and then visualize. Visualize in your mind's eye that you are that top producer. Okay, just take a moment and just see it in your mind's eye. Then hit your recording, press play again, and then I forget what the second thing it says. Da, 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 da. Oh, I accept the responsibility, the commitment, the discipline, and take action like a top producer. All right. Hit pause again. Say that looking into your eyes, hit pause, and see yourself. See yourself showing up to the office, dressed well, saying, greeting everyone, hey, how you doing today? Going into your office, getting on the phone, taking the action steps, following up with clients, reaching out to people. See yourself doing that. So do this throughout the whole goal or throughout the whole declaration statement. It only takes a few minutes. And the reason we do this every 2 to 3 hours is because we need to change that programming. We need to change it. If you don't do it, I don't know how old you are, anyone that's listening to this now or on the replay, but you've been telling yourself the same message over and over. Start telling yourself something new. We want to start planting that seed in the subconscious mind. Okay. What you're doing, yep, is you're burning the idea into the subconscious mind through auto suggestion. The subconscious mind is the emotional mind. This is the knowing, the thinking, educated mind. This is the emotional doing part of you. All right. So this is the emotional mind, and its language is emotion. So this is why you want to use the emotional words, because that's the language of the subconscious mind. And this is why writing and speaking and visualizing with emotion is key. Make sure to take action steps, even if they're small in the beginning. The repetition of affirming your goals with action will create the new belief and the confidence that you need to be the being the highest version of yourself. It'll bring more out of you that you didn't even know existed. What I also want you to do is read chapter 4 in Think and Grow Rich. If you don't have it, I strongly recommend you get it. I have two versions. I have a paperback and a hard copy. So either one, but I recommend this one more so. And study it. Don't just read it. You must study it. I do lots of highlighting. I think last week I had psycho-cybernetics, but this is, notes. Study these books. They're super, super helpful for you. So read that chapter 4 on auto suggestion. Read it for 30 days. It's only a couple of pages long. You'll get through it in probably 7 minutes. But what it's going to do again is you're planting new seeds. You're taking away the old thinking and replacing it with the new thinking. Never go to bed with negative thoughts. Go to bed with the feeling of your goal already achieved and say thank you. Say thank you. Try to do your best to go to sleep as that top producer with the goal already achieved. You are her, you are him. Go to bed with those kinds of thoughts. And when you wake up in the morning, say thank you. Have an attitude of gratitude. So these are just some of the steps of my program that will help you to begin changes necessary to have the belief on a deep level through autosuggestion, emotion, and repetition. Think about this. My thoughts, my fixed ideas, my habits are all from 1960s and the 1970s. Think about that, right? That's where all of my experiences in my early age came from the 60s and 70s. And the world is constantly changing. Every day, it's a new day, it's a new world. Things are always moving and expanding. But my thinking is from the 60s and 70s. And this is why it is it's so necessary to change that old programming. Okay. Um, so I hope you're enjoying these trainings and some of the solutions that I offer so you can start to create and change the life that you really desire, the one that you truly deserve. And keep in mind that for the most part, the people that are watching, whether you're live or the replays, whether it's my trainings or anyone else's, really the most of you, and I did it, was guilty, just gathering information. You're just gathering information. And if you don't apply what you're learning, it's just entertainment. So what brings everything together when you watch this, when you watch something else, when you read a book, when you listen to something on YouTube, you're just gathering a bunch of information. And it is the mentor or the coach that helps you bring everything together, because I went through many, many years of my life gathering information, and I know I'm not alone. So it's the mentorship or the coaching along with accountability that really makes the changes. And if you would like my help getting crystal clear on what you should be doing to get unstuck and start living the life that you deserve and living the potential that is within you, just reach out to me. You can DM me and we can have a chat. So thank you again for joining me today. I'm very grateful for everyone that is here, again, whether you're live or you're catching the replay. I hope you have a wonderful day and expect abundance, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so, so much. Bye-bye.